Hello, it's Barry from Elliott Wave. How's it going? Here's a new video on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Today we're going to take a look at both, see what's happening and what could be happening using the Elliott Wave Theory. So here's my preferred count on Bitcoin. As you can see, a wave 1, 2, up into wave 3 with the 2021 top. And now it looks like we could have bottom in wave 4. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to assume we do have a bottom in place. We are resuming higher. Now, with that being said, there is a possibility we could see further downside into wave 4 or else more of a sideways movement to then resume higher. Nonetheless, this down move seems to be corrective in nature, as I've explained many times before in my previous video, and we'll just take a brief look at it today. That being said, let's take a look at the daily chart and see what's happening. So, as you can see here, and as I just said, it looks like we've had a complex correction, a triple complex into wave 4 of cycle degree, as we've started the down move from the 2021 top in a 3-wave move. We've had 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, and 3 down. So being a series of 3, and as I said many times before, I struggle to count this as 5-wave impulsive move. My best option is that it was a triple complex. Now, from the bottom here at 15,000, there's multiple scenarios, multiple counts that are both available. My preferred, as you can see here, is a leading diagonal into wave 1. Now, despite the fact that this doesn't look like the best diagonal you could ever imagine, or a textbook diagonal, it still does not break any rule. As you can see here, wave 4 is shorter than wave 2, and also wave 5 is clearly shorter than wave 3. Therefore, it is by all means a valid contracting leading diagonal. That being said, once again, and I think that's very interesting, and it seems to be at this point peculiar of Bitcoin, but I would say crypto in general, this seems to be another triple combo. 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, 3 up. Obviously, kind of the same thing that we've seen here, just on a different level, a different scale. So with that being said, and also, as I said in the previous update on Bitcoin that you find on the channel, we're looking for 30,000 to act as support. We failed once here, we then corrected, found support here as one could have imagined, and then it looks like we clearly had a break of 30,000. Now, I do count this as a 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, there is an argue that this could be moved 1 degree lower, therefore we can expect much more upside, but that's obviously, the more we dive into it, the more we need to have lower degree counts, and it's not ideal for YouTube. Anyways, this looks corrective. I do expect one more high, and in general, I do expect a series of 3 and 4, as you normally have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and at some point on the upside after you explore into a third of a third. And given the strength of this up move into a 3, it is confirmation that perhaps we are indeed in a third of a third of a third. Again, gaining confidence on the overall count, and that we could be resuming higher. It's also worth mentioning that many times Bitcoin just kind of consolidated in kind of a curve to then explode exponentially. So again, here you can see we're kind of doing, or I would call a parabola, and then we could just resume higher. Now, if we want to take a look at upside targets, if we want to see 1.618 times 3, intermediate 3 against 1, that would be at 80,000. We know that 80 is the strongest number in the market, so it would not be a surprise to find resistance on the 80,000, which is also would equal to a bit above previous all-time high. We could then expect a consolidation to wave 4 and further upside to at least 100,000. Now at that point, let's say we do get to 80,000, we correct, and we go past 100,000. It'll be an interesting point whether this should have been moved 1 degree higher, and then therefore would have had a top into cycle wave 5, or else this degree seems to be correct. And then let's say we do top at 100 or so thousand, we pull back into 3-wave move. So we make wave 1 of 5, pull back into wave 2 of 5 here, and then we continue higher towards even higher upside targets. Is that unrealistic? Well, Bitcoin started what? Less than $1, and now we are at 34,000. Can we get to 34 to 500,000? It's possible. If we look at momentum indicators, we see how we've broke through the RSI. Again, we're still on the weekly chart, and we are now starting to get into the overbought territory. So momentum, it is showing upside strength. And then if we look at the moving averages, we can see how we found support on the 200 EMA. We first crossed it here with 220, which are respectively purple and red line. We crossed again. So this would be a bearish sign. This would be a bullish sign. We crossed them, found support here. Let me zoom in for you on the 200 EMA. And now we seem to be resuming higher. Obviously, invalidation count would stand here at 15,000 for a 1-2 further upside. Right now, if we want to be more aggressive, we can expect invalidation target right here on the top wave 2. If we do break 24,000 to the downside, then we can expect that this was indeed a 3-wave move. And we could see further downside, as I stated in the first minute of the video. Now, with that being said, let's move on to Ethereum. Here we are with Ethereum. So one thing worth noticing is how we have much more or less price data. However, if we want to be bullish, we are expecting more upside to come for a few reasons. Reason number one, as you can see here, we have the largest correction ever. Now, usually we'd expect at least a 3-wave move, meaning we've had upside, downside. We now would be expecting at least one more move to the upside. And that usually tends to correspond to a Fibonacci level. Now, the first target would be 61.8% of this move compared to the first one, to the initial move. And that would equal to $12,800. Now, that would be kind of the worst case scenario where I see two possible scenarios. The first one is this one. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, completing this wave 5 here of minor degree. And that would mean we have a higher degree intermediate wave 1 in place, 3 waves down into wave 2, and we explode to the upside. Now, this is an extremely bullish count. If we want to be more conservative, we can expect that all this up move here into what I've marked as minor degree is actually intermediate. So we top here with this wave 3, correcting to this wave 4. We do not break invalidation level here at $1,392, and then resume higher into wave 1. And those are the more bullish scenario. The bearish scenario will be a wave A, B, and C, which I'm just going to label. And this would be a wave 1, 2, some sort of wave 3, 4, and 5. So here at roughly 13,000, would have a major top in place, meaning that Ethereum fails to make a 5-wave impulsive move of a large degree trend. Therefore, it turns kind of trendless, similar to Forex, for instance, and then resumes lower and potentially starts a sideways move. Now, that's kind of speculation. Let's try to focus more on the short term, which is what we can try to predict as accurately as possible. So here on the daily chart, I see two main scenarios available. The first one is one you're looking at. So one thing worth noticing is how we've had 3-wave moves to the downside. Therefore, this down move seems to be corrective in nature, meaning that we should expect this high to be broken at some point, as the trend seems to be still to the upside according to the Elliott Wave rules. Now, that being said, I see two main scenarios. The first one is the one you're looking at right now. A wave 4 in place, a 1, 2, 1, 2, and now in the following weeks, starting as today, technically it's already started, I would like to see exponential growth into Ethereum. As the more time we spend sideways, the less this scenario becomes realistic. That's when the alternate comes in. As we've had 3 initial wave down, I would expect some sort of potential sideways continuation wave 4, either a triangle or something like this, or a complex correction still, as long as we hold this low. So that was a brief outlook on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. I try to be as short and detailed as possible in the same time. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you'd like to see more. Let me know what else you'd like to see. As always, don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on the next update. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.